Hello everyone, welcome to Minimal Mindful Mama. Today I thought I would do a little life update type of video for you guys. I have had a lot going on, been super busy. I recently went back to work full-time, so we've just had a lot of transition and adjustment in our lives recently. So I thought I would update you on just how that's going and minimalism and how that has affected it. And I'm going to be painting. I find painting to be very relaxing and kind of zen, so I've been enjoying just randomly painting things. I really like my job. I am very blessed to be where I am, and my coworkers are great, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. So as far as a job goes, I'm very happy. It is just a really big jump from being a stay-at-home mom to going back to work full-time. My girls are now all in school, so I had always planned on going back to work once they were all in school, but it all just seemed to happen much faster than I expected because of unforeseen life circumstances. So it's definitely been an interesting adjustment and transition, and it's been pretty rough so far. I am very thankful that I did discover minimalism when I did, and that I did declutter a lot and minimize a lot of our home before I went back to work full-time, because I cannot imagine trying to work and be at the point where I was at with the house and with clutter even a few years ago. So I'm very thankful that I have a very minimized and decluttered home, even though it doesn't stay that way by any means, especially with me gone at work all day. I am grateful that the systems are in place, because it's definitely helped to ease the transition, even though the transition has still been really hard. I think that my biggest struggle recently has been definitely keeping up with those small little things. And that's something that I really need to work on and have been trying to work on. And I've been really struggling to keep up with everything, and basically have not been keeping up with everything. Working full-time teaching, and then having part-time things that I do, and doing YouTube, and still trying to parent and keep up with the dishes and the laundry. Even if I do try to, which I do, try to do a load of laundry every morning, there's some mornings where it just doesn't happen, and then I end up getting behind. And then I don't always have the weekends to catch up, because sometimes I'm working my other job on the weekends. So it's definitely been a really big struggle and a big adjustment, and I am not feeling adjusted yet, if that makes sense. I'm not feeling like I'm doing well at it, at keeping up with all of the things. Not that we ever can necessarily keep up with all of the things, but I had been at a point where I felt like I had really simplified, and I had been living a much slower lifestyle, and I was really happy with where I was at. And now adding this change has really thrown that off balance, to where I no longer feel that sense of peace that I did before. But there's not really much that I can remove or say no to at this point, which is frustrating, because I talk about minimalism and I talk about prioritizing and only keeping the things that are important to you and that are your priorities, and letting go of the rest to make room for the things that you're prioritizing. But I just don't have the option to say no to certain things right now. Like, I can't say no to doing dishes or laundry, because we won't have dishes and laundry. And I am a parent, and I am in a position right now where I have to work. So I have just been struggling with that transition, and I'm sure that that's really relatable to other moms who work as well. So I just wanted to share a little bit about where I'm at and how it's been feeling with minimalism. I am very definitely grateful and thankful that we are living minimally. It's just not where I would like it to be, but I think that part of that is just realistic. Like, not all of us have the independence to be able to live the perfect ideal lifestyle that we would like, and I think that that's just how life is. And therefore, if anything is starting to fall behind, it's probably going to end up being YouTube and Instagram, which is really sad for me because I have been really working hard to be consistent with it. And therefore, any support that you guys show by liking and subscribing and all of that is just really, really appreciated. That just really helps and is really encouraging to me to keep going and to keep trying, even if I'm not able to be as consistent or post as frequently as I would like. I think that my biggest win recently has just been reflecting on the timing of things and where I am now versus a few years ago. I can definitely see a lot of growth in my life, which sometimes you don't always see, but I feel like it's been becoming very clear in the past couple weeks and months, and I'm really grateful for that glimpse of growth. Someone asked what my go-to breakfast is these days, on a little bit of a lighter topic, but still along the same lines, because now that I'm working, I am trying to be out the door by 7:20, 7:30 at the latest, which means that realistically I don't end up eating breakfast a lot of days. I'll have my coffee before I go, and then I pack a snack and lunch and such, and so when I do end up having breakfast, it usually, my go-to would be fried egg. And then if not, then my breakfast would be my coffee, and then my morning snack, which I've been doing they're called ginger gold apples, and I found them at Produce Junction, and they're like a greenish color with hints of like rosy yellow, and I've been really, really enjoying those. They're like crisp and have that like a slight little crispy ginger flavor, and I've just been really enjoying having those each day as a morning snack that's kind of also partially my breakfast. Since I started working, my garden has kind of been let go a little bit. It was something that I really enjoyed over the summer, and have not really been paying much attention to since I've started working. However, I did harvest some more tomatoes the other weekend, and I cooked those all into a like condensed broth type of thing, like a stock, so that I will have veggie stock, and I froze it into containers so that I can just use one whenever I'm making a soup this fall and winter. And so I'm really excited about that because that'll be a really useful way for me. I can just put one in the crock pot and throw in whatever veggies or whatever I have in the fridge and have an easy dinner going when I get home. And I think that that is probably going to be kind of the end of my garden. I do have a few things planted that will come after the tomatoes, such as sweet potatoes. I'm really excited to see how those turn out. I've never planted or grown sweet potatoes before, so I know that those are more of a later harvest. So I think once the tomatoes are gone and the other plants kind of die down a bit, then I will look into figuring that out. And I'm really hoping that they do well, because that would be really fun to be able to harvest in the late fall and winter and have sweet potatoes. Someone asked who inspires me. And honestly, I've been really loving a few people's different accounts recently. One of them is Allison Bickerstaff. I love her YouTube channel. It just has all of the cozy cottagecore vibes, and I love just watching her vlogs while I'm doing dishes or whatever. and it's just been giving me that little cozy inspiration that I've been needing. And then on Instagram, I've been loving this parenting coach. I'll pop up on the screen here. She has some really helpful tips and reels and such for free on her Instagram, but then she also does a course as well, which I haven't tried, but I just really have learned a lot from her free content, and it's been very helpful. I think that if you are a parent, that following someone or listening to a podcast or reading books about parenting on a somewhat regular basis is really helpful. As a teacher, we do regular professional development, and it helps us to learn how to be better teachers and educators. And I think that kind of doing something like that, seeing yourself as a parent as a lifelong learner, is really important, because your children are growing and changing, and you're gonna encounter new stages and new issues. And I think that just having that being poured into on a regular basis is hugely important. So I would highly recommend whatever your medium of choice would be, whether that's a podcast or Instagram or YouTube, but finding someone who's a parenting coach that you feel you can relate to and connect with is really, really important when you're raising children. I've been really working recently on consistency with not so much decluttering and like the bigger minimizing type of projects, but just with the day-to-day things. Like I mentioned earlier, with starting a load of laundry every morning. A lot of times I find that I'm really, really tired and don't want to do chores at night that I know are going to benefit me to have done in the morning. So sometimes you need to just take a day, but that's something that I've been really working on, is trying to just keep up with the small things, and even when I don't feel like it, to do them anyway, so that I will have a smoother morning and that I won't get as far behind and have as much to catch up on the weekends. I saw somewhere, I'm not sure who shared it, but it was saying that if something will take you less than 2 minutes, you should just do it now. And since I've started implementing that in my life, I really discovered that I can be really lazy sometimes, because I will be putting something away, for instance, and rather than taking it all the way and putting it in its place, I'll just want to set it down somewhere halfway there. And it's ridiculous, because it would only take me a few more seconds to actually put it in its place where it belongs, and yet I'm trying to cut corners. And so I think that that has really struck me, and I've been really noticing that recently, and I've been working towards making sure that I actually do the task all the way, especially if it's something that will only take a few minutes. What I've been reading currently, I have been working through Leviathan Wakes. I had gotten it from the library, but then I didn't finish it fast enough. So my husband has it on his Kindle. So I've actually been taking that to work and reading a little bit on my break. And I've been managing about a chapter-ish a day, so it's going very, very slowly. But I am very much enjoying it. The writing is superb. I am really loving all the coffee references and quotations. It's just me to a T. If I was forced to be in space, that would 100% be me. But I've just been really, really enjoying reading that. It's not my usual book type of genre. I usually tend to go for like nonfiction decluttering type books, honestly. But I do really enjoy watching sci-fi, and we really enjoyed watching The Expanse together, my husband and I. So I wanted to read the books because the show sadly stopped before they finished all the books, so I want to read the books and find out what happens. So of course I had to start at the beginning with Leviathan Wakes, and I really enjoyed the show, but I'm finding that I really enjoy the book as well, which isn't always the case with certain shows that are newer, that aren't from as classic books. I find that there were things maybe I liked about the show and that the book didn't really live up to the standard of the book always being better than the show. But I've really been enjoying the writing style, and that is what I have been reading recently. Well, I think that is it for today's video. I think I've answered all the questions that people have asked, and if you have more questions, definitely drop them down below in the comments, and I can either answer there or I can do another video similar to this style in the future if it was something that you really enjoyed. I really appreciate you watching, and as I mentioned earlier, when you guys like and comment and subscribe, it really is such an encouragement to me, especially as it has been really difficult for me to find the time to be consistent with this social media outlet of mine. And so it really is encouraging to see that it is appreciated by you guys as well. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you ring the little bell button down below, you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video. And I'd also love if you share with your friends. So if you have friends who you know would enjoy some decluttering content, or are other mamas, or someone who you think would enjoy the types of videos that I post, please go ahead and share that with them. I love making new friends on here and learning from other people and sharing the things that I've learned as well. And all of your love and support is so appreciated. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out.